war room in this direction. Yep, this kind of looks like a war room. Massive table. Not a whole lot else going here. Well, going on here. Okay, let's go talk to Vinod. I think this is, yep, this is V. Chibber. You seem to have a Cray supercomputer here. Welcome back, Agent Cleary. Thank you for your work on tonight's mission. Please do try to avoid causing a commotion next time. We will not get useful intel if the targets identify you. I understand. I'll work on staying out of sight. Don't let it get you down. Every good agent has to start somewhere. Did you collect the package from the dead drop? Yes, it was this USB drive. Thank you, I'll take that. Where did you find it? In the nightstand in Suite 1. Interesting. We'll do a background check on the individuals who have stayed there recently. Perhaps we can identify the informant. Alright, I think that concludes our debriefing. Do you have any questions for me? Do we know anything about the informant? Not much. He contacted us through a maze of proxies and we haven't had much luck tracing the source. Okay, how about the USB drive then? We'll start analyzing it in the morning. The informant gave us no indication what he was providing, but the director was confident it would be worth receiving. How about the guests? What do we know about them? Foreign ambassadors, not suspected of any wrongdoing. It's strictly protocol to gather intel on the members of these summits. Our government finds it to be useful in negotiating. So basically we are bugging people who are completely innocent. How are the wife and kids? Like that's a lighter one to end this conversation on. They're very well, thank you. My son has just started kindergarten. Thanks, I'm going to be going. Good night. But yeah, this is basically what the agency is. The agency is it's a spying agency. Basically, oh, this is our office right here. Our office. We have a desk and a desk lamp, and there's absolutely nothing here. However, I can open up a grate. I haven't actually exported the agency too much, so let's see where this grate goes. I mean, why not, right? Apparently this leads to another office. And we're stealing from the agency now. So whose office is this? T. Wales. So basically I found a back way into the office. Good. But yeah, this is I think this is supposed to pretty much be NSA, and that's the logo of the agency right there. Like, this is supposed to be sort of like NSA. It's a government agency meant to conduct surveillance and espionage. So let's go meet the director. The director has an office right there. Restricted access. We might as well, check all the... Apparently this is all restricted and we don't have the keys to enter. They're also unhackable. Some doors are, not all of them, but some. And one restricted. Unhackable. I mixed up the two words. Okay, hello there. Ah, Jillian, how's your trip to Austin? The mission went well, Director. That's fantastic, darling. So what's on your mind? What can you tell me about the informant? He's an informant. He informs with benefits. This is Espionage 101, Jill. I'd just like to know who I'm working with and why. Don't you worry your pretty little head over it. You do the field work, let the boys in analysis handle the rest. Okay, how about the next assignment then? What's the rush? Get some rest, sweetheart. Your job will still be here in the morning. Just like to be ready for whatever I'm doing next. Don't worry, I'm not going to send you into the field unprepared. You'll get your assignment when it's ready. Okay. I could go there is actually, you get an achievement if you go the don't call me darling thing. I mean, we can do it. I don't think it matters too much. Sure thing, kiddo. I'm serious, it's unprofessional and demeaning. No, it's harmless, I'm just being friendly. Your tone right now is what is unprofessional. I'm the director of this agency and I will not tolerate being spoken to in this way. Have a good night. Go get some sleep, darling, you've had a long night. Sure thing. I don't think there's actually a geocache token here. And that means we have actually completed the level. This is a level because it has like the geocache tokens and stuff like that, but obviously this is supposed to be just a sort of a... Well, it's a kind of a non-level, because there isn't really anything here that can do much. I wonder if the training stuff counts as an alarm though. I don't think there is a grade for this level. I just don't think there is. But maybe I might remember wrong. Anyway, let's get myself a car and let's go home. Yeah, just call me a car and I'm gonna head home. Have a good night. So yeah, that's the kind of sort of futuristic stuff we're talking about. There are flying cars. And return home to your apartment 401 and when ready go to bed. I think this is also a level. There's actually a geocache token here, or a geocache. I'm going to get a token out of that. Now I have 7. So picking up those is actually useful. Like I mentioned, it's they are distraction tools. So finding them is beneficial. There's actually a way up. I'm going to explore it a little bit, but yeah, like I mentioned, I'm not going to, like, if I don't find something, I'm not going to go out of my way to, like, find it. And I can get in here. Am I intruding? Stranger. Please come in, stay as long as you like. It's not like I'm living here or anything. Sure. Thanks for the cash. Apparently they have like a, well, basic apartment here. Okay, yep, I'm gonna be going. Thanks. But there are like places like that which are like, this is supposed to be like a semi-secret. I apparently took some damage there. The number in the bottom left is my health to 51, so that goes up to 100. Okay. Welcome home, Miss Cleary. Another long day at work. Just the usual, any messages? Afraid not. Thanks, good night, good night. Good night indeed. I can actually go in here, and there is a geocache. These are in, like... I mean, they are geocaches, so they are in kind of weird places at times. Like, who has a geocache in... like a, well, I suppose a lounge isn't so bad, but like there are geocaches in very, very private property in this game. I'm pretty sure that would not happen in real life. I think it's not really allowed. I can hack these random apartments. I think I'm not going to do that. Like, that seems a little bit odd for me to just, you know, hack. Actually, some of these are unhackable. Maybe I should hack this because I can. But it is a little bit weird for me to... Well, I suppose the NSA does snoop in just random people's business. Quite potentially innocent people's business. So what I'm doing right now is not necessarily all that different from what they are doing, but it seems a little bit weird to me that I would just go around like in random apartments and just steal money. But hey, I mean, money is good. I mean, we need to get our bonus payments somehow, and whether that be by getting bonuses from the agency or by just hacking our way into random apartments. You know. This is our apartment then. Let's see if I can get in here. Oh, that's actually the apartment that I already got into by just going through the window, but this is ours. It seems that we left the lights on last time we left the apartment. Programming in the television is a little bit lackluster here. Yeah, this is our apartment. It's a tiny, tiny apartment. Okay, let's turn off the lights. There isn't really much I can do here, I think. You can check the voicemail. One new message. Hi Jillian, it's your mother. I guess you're out of town again. I wish you wouldn't stay out so late. And it wouldn't hurt to call once in a while. I hope you're well. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye. No new messages. Okay. Yep. But yeah, that about wraps up the level. Let's go on to the next one. Atlanta, October 9th. Hello, Agent Clary. How is the weather in Atlanta? Please do not call me Jill. We've worked together long enough for that. Very well, let's review your mission, Jill. For some time, the agency has been investigating a man known by the pseudonym Mr. Grayside. He is believed to be the primary manufacturer of illegal stims in the South. The intelligence you collected from the dead drop in Austin has led us to this location at this compound. So why are we investigating this stuff then? The agency provides services to many clients, so I can't say for sure, but if I had to guess, I'd say we were hired by the stims industry to help them shut down illegal competition. So we are not only like an espionage government agency, but apparently we are also offering our services to the private sector. That is a little bit odd. What makes illegal stims different from the legal ones? Mostly who manufactures them. Legal stims are produced in sanctioned facilities and their sale is taxed. So why the drop in a political summit then? The timing and location was the informant's choice, and we had no idea what intel he would provide. We wrongly assumed it would relate to political matters. But is it so surprising that a politician might have a connection to the illegal stims trade? That may be worth investigating further when I get back to Washington. Okay, so what about the objective then? It's a straightforward mission. Access Mr. Grayside's private computer network and find any evidence of his involvement in the manufacture or sale of illegal stims, a list of buyers, suppliers, lab records, anything like that. Or records. Got it. Anything else I should know? We've been tracking Mr. Grayside for a long time and we can't have agency fingerprints on this if anything goes wrong. We're going in unarmed once again. We know that Mr. Grayside hires private security staff, so exercise caution. Don't I always? Of course, good luck, Jill. Yep. We can also scare some pigeons. Ooh, and so they fly. So that's the compound that we need to infiltrate. However, I'm actually going to check out this place first. Apparently there is some coffee here. News terminal. US News. A consumer version of the Hudson wearable display may be available as early as 2016, analysts say. Legislative roadblocks have so far precluded public access to the tech, but insiders are confident that a reduced version of the Hudson will comply with public security laws while still performing a variety of household tasks. Although it was originally developed to augment threat awareness in close-quarters combat, the Hudson's versatility has also earned its place amongst the intelligence and medical industries. Yep, and we have one. And I think the whole light sensing thing is actually part of the Hudson. Okay, Let's go upstairs. For this purpose, actually. So there's an anti-light grenade, but basically that creates darkness. I have no idea how that works, but I'm not going to question it. There's a stranger. 10,000 possible door codes, yet he chooses that one. Which one is that? Seems to be that we are running into these strangers all the time, and they seem to know stuff that we don't know. Yeah, I'm going to pick up that stuff because the anti-light grenade is really useful. And of course the geocache tokens are useful too. I'm going to avoid using the scramblers as much as possible because I think that constitutes... I mean, it's a stun, so I'm not really sure what that counts as, but I imagine that it probably involves being spotted. So there are multiple ways in once again, and I actually... Let's go back here. I don't... Like, there is... The one way that I usually have used is back that way. This might actually be just a way around that is less guarded. Yep, this is pretty much just a less guarded way to enter this building. I think this is like a construction site. It's not really like... This isn't a real, like, house yet, but it does offer us a way in. Okay. Let's just be quiet. This is metal, so it makes a lot of noise when we walk on it, so... And particularly when we jump. Yep. It seems that someone has kind of heard what I did. Can I... Is that guy going to move anywhere? Guess not. Well, I'm going to use this way anyway. Okay, it seems that that caused a lot of ruckus. So everyone is kind of now suspicious of the sounds, I'm guessing. But this is like the best way I've done a couple of these levels multiple times, and this is the best way I've seen or found to get in here. So you're not going to see anything because I am in the darkness. Is there actually anything up here that I might be interested in? There's a geocache right there. Do I want to go for it though? I think I'm going to quickly go for it, see if I can get to it without causing problems for myself. Okay. Okay, hopefully you're not coming this way. I could jump down onto like one of these aircon units, but I could still have this, like I could still deploy a scrambler or the light grenade. The problem is that the light grenades are an item that I don't get too many copies of. Okay, you do whatever. I'm also going to take your key card, thanks. Okay, I'm gonna go through here. Not really sure what is down here. I think the target is actually upstairs. But I'm going to quickly check this side as well. Like I mentioned, I'm going to try and look at... Oh, silence stims. Those silence my footprints. Okay, that was another anti-light grenade. Luckily that person didn't decide to go in here. So I'm guessing you're just patrolling the area around here. multiple guards patrolling the hallway here. And I think I am going to... I'm going to darken this room a little bit. Let's get into the box and see what is in the box. 100 cash. Actually, that isn't really worth my time, the money. We're not going to end up using a whole lot of it. We can use the money to get some items at one point, but I'm not really sure I'm going to get that much use out of the money. Okay, we're now on the ground level. I don't think there's anything for us here. Okay, let's make our way back up. It's a good thing that you decided to come a little bit too late. Oh, frick. Okay, you guys, that way. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get top marks on this either. The silence stim might be really cool though, because that allows me to just run and nobody's going to spot me, which I think might be really cool at some point. I'm not probably going to use it on this level, but I might use it later on. Perhaps. Actually, let's run through here. Okay, we have the key card for this too. Okay, that sound meant that the steam ran out. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to deploy the second anti-light grenade. Once again, I don't really understand how the anti-light grenade works. Like, I don't understand how it can just remove light. Like, I can understand like destroying lights, for example. But just, it blatantly just removes light emitted by some, like, stuff, but it doesn't destroy the equipment that emits the light. At least that's not the way it looks. But hey, it's video games. We shouldn't overanalyze things like this. Particularly when it's such a useful tool. Okay, there we go. The alarm box is now dead, and so is the camera. Which means that we might be able to take a look in here. Okay, let's turn off the lights so that we can take a look at the server terminal. And as you can see, there are varying levels of difficulty on these things. Some locks are a little bit harder, some have like solid blocks that just cannot be destroyed. There we go. Grayside Compound Operating System, so they have their own operating system apparently. Logging in, logging successful. Welcome to Gracie OS. Or Greycos. Gracie OS. That sounds fun. There's too much data here for me to analyze right now. I'd better send a backup to the engineers at the agency. Backup to external drive, backup complete. Should log out before anyone notices I've been here. Some people have probably noticed that I am here, in fact. Okay, Vinod is calling. Vinod, I've sent you an encrypted disk image from Mr. Grayside's computer. Excellent work, Jill. The agency has world-class decryption algorithms. We're tearing through it right now. Shall I head back to the street for extraction? Stand by, new orders coming in. Okay, Jill, you have one additional objective. We need you to detain Mr. Greyside. Proceed to his penthouse room and confront him. On what basis? The director is confident that the encrypted data you found will contain enough evidence to put Mr. Greyside away for a long time. Are we working based on an assumption, or are we sure that there is actual evidence in there? Because I don't think you've decrypted it yet. Well, we don't currently have any evidence against him. You're right, Jill, but this order comes straight from the top. You can speak with the director about it when you get back. Right now, you need to do your job. Okay, and without a weapon? I mean, it's a little bit risky there. We're sending an armed unit and special agent to make the arrest, but the director is insistent that Mr. Greyside be detained immediately. Mr. Greyside's profile doesn't indicate any violent behavior, but he doesn't need to know you're unarmed, does he? Affirmative, on my way. Make sure the aircraft is ready for extraction as soon as backup arrives. Good luck, Jill. Okay, so let's just make sure we don't trip the security any more than we have possibly already. And nobody is going to have key cards after this evening. Okay, now we need to just time this so that all the guards are not looking when I go through here. Okay, the guard is coming that way. I can sneak past here. Okay, that camera is not operational anymore because I have the alarm box disabled. Let's just make sure that nobody notices us on the last minute here. And we can actually, well, we could have probably opened the lock because we have like so many key cards, but I think we're safe here. I don't think this is any kind of a patrol route. Also, apparently we're just destroying all the blocks today. There we go. Let's close that behind us, and that's where Greyside is. And before we confront Greyside, I want that geocache. Yeah, you just come in here and don't mind me. I could have just talked to Greyside at that point, and that would have led to us detaining them, but I want to sign this. Okay, I'm missing one. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to go out looking for it. At this point we have messed up the level quite enough that I'm not going to get the best grade anyway. Mr. Greyside, I'm Federal Agent Gillian Cleary. I need you to stop and wait here. And why would I do that, Agent Cleary? You're under suspicion of the manufacture and sale of illegal stims. Under suspicion? You come here into my fortress and arrest me because you have a hunch? You're not under arrest. I just need you to wait here while I ask you some questions. Very well, you've got me. I surrender. What is your full name? What a boring, predictable question. Here's a question worth considering instead. How did you find me? See, I don't make mistakes, Agent Cleary, and I did not wish to be found. And yet here I am. And yet here you are. Isn't that a riddle? Shall I answer it for you? Look at my arm. You see this tiny scar? I expect you have one just like it. I have a small scar where my agency tracking device was implanted. Are you ex-agency then? Don't be ridiculous. It was a voluntary procedure for you, wasn't it? I'm sure you gladly accepted it so your handlers could watch over you, keep you safe from villains like me. I went in for a hip replacement 2 months ago. What a surprise when I woke with a bandage on my forearm as well. It seems your agency pulled some strings and had the surgeon tag me with a tracking device. Is there no end to the lengths to which you will go to harass this poor old man? That's preposterous. And yet here you are. So I will ask you again, Agent Cleary, how did you find me? The special agent in charge will take it from here. And level. Grade A. Apparently I was undetected, even though there were suspicions. But I guess they never saw me, they just heard me or something.